Greetings, Check Nice AlphaStorm here, and welcome to a vlog-style video, which it's been a while since I've done one of these properly, at least in terms of when this is releasing. Anyway, this video is going to be somewhat different. It's essentially going to be an unboxing of my new equipment, because I have just, as of this video technically being recorded, I have just received the Scarlett 2i2 audio interface from Focusrite, and Helix Native from line 6, which are going to represent my guitar tones for the foreseeable future. I'm not sure how long that will be. I just happen to know that I'll be using them, and that's the point. What you're about to see is an unboxing and explanation of what they do and all kinds of other fun stuff, as well as a demo of what my new sound is going to be like. And since this is releasing shortly after the album finished releasing its parts, then you can assume that this next Sunday is going to be the first official debut of my new sound. So that's cool, isn't it? Anyway, with that, on with what you came here for. Here's the unboxing and testing of the new audio equipment. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the Christmas unboxing vlog. Let's not fuck about, let's get to it. Alright, the dramatic reveal, the main thing that we're here for. Here it is. Here it is. The Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. Boasting the world's best-selling audio interface. And it says the main feature of the 2i2, which is literally in the name, is its 2 inputs and 2 outputs. It also has the new air button and or feature. I don't know if it's a button yet, I haven't taken it out. I don't really know what a lot of this means, but the point of it is that this should be better than what I've currently got, because it's more respected than line 6. So with that, let's go back to the studio and plug this in. Alrighty then, so it has been a long time. As you can see from the date on my computer, it is January the 31st. I have been messing around with the new equipment that I got for my tones for over a month, and only within the last week have I actually gotten something that I'm happy with. And even then, this set of tones that you're about to hear is only going to last from March. And then after that, it's changing immediately. So I got the Scarlett set up to my right with everything set up. The day that I got it, I had one fatal audio crash that required a restart of the interface, and after that it was fixed. The only problems I've had with it are just the fact that it's kind of awkward to get used to, but I have gotten used to it and I've recorded some pretty good stuff since. In fact, when you're seeing this, I've already recorded up to April in covers. In fact, I've probably recorded all the way up to at least June, or something like that. I don't know. I'm quite far ahead in covers. I made a catastrophic mistake deciding to take an extended break like I did. Anyway, let's go through the tones that I have created, and we're gonna start with drums. The drum sound I created is within Toontrack's Superior Drummer, which looks like this. This is the kit I used. I'm using the 18x26 Pearl Masterworks kick, the 6.5 by 14 Tama bell brass snare, 8x10, 9x12, 10x14, 15x16, and 16x18 Pearl Masterworks toms, the 20-inch Masterworks Sehar China, rather, I can read, the Masterwork Custom Series 17-inch hi-hat, the 17-inch Paiste 2002 Medium Crash, the 16-inch Zildjian K Constantinople Crash, the 10-inch Zildjian EAK Splash, the 16-inch Masterwork Jazz Master Crash, and the 24-inch Paiste 2002 ride, with all of the extra mixing that it ended up entailing. It took me a long time to get this particular sound. Anyway, alone, it sounds like this. I should probably also mention that this project that you're listening to right now is another version of Breakout from 3D Game Heroes. I figured this was the perfect test song to show off the new tones that I've created, just because I know it pretty well and I think it lends itself well to just being messed around with. Anyway, let's get to the actually new stuff aside from like just the sound alone, because I've used Superior Drummer for over a year at this point. So, getting to the other actually new stuff, we have a bass tone. This is not the bass tone that I really wanted, but it serves its purpose pretty well. I've called it Aggroing Bass within Helix Native. Essentially, it is a pretty mediumly distorted bass tone that is, well, it serves the purpose of being a bass tone, and it does it pretty well. It's just that what I wanted was something that is so lightly distorted you can barely tell there is distortion, but that means that it is fat enough, round enough, and nice sounding enough that it can work in both the setting of a heavily distorted guitar section and a clean section. That was my goal with the tone. That's actually what this tone here, basses, is. Anyway, this bass tone sounds like this. This first little bit is slap bass. I'm gonna let it go until it gets to some finger-picked stuff. So that's the tone that you're looking at for bass. Specific settings for those curious who have Helix. I'm using the Ampeg SVT-4 Pro with these particular settings for like EQ and volume and stuff, and then these are my settings. I have off, off, on for these 4 settings, and then these are my EQ settings. So cut out a lot of bass below 33 hertz, just a little bit cut out at 80, 150 and 300 have nothing happening, and then there's a pretty steady increase from 600 up to 8K. It is using the 6x10 Kali Power cabinet with 4x12 dynamic microphone on it, with these specific settings. For the extra stuff, I'm using a Diana drive with these particular settings just to give it a little bit of distortion. I'm also using a Rochester comp for a little bit of compression before it goes into the like master bus effects that I have within Cubase. And then of course gain reduction through the powers of Noise Gate. Just that way there's no hissing, because this would be quite the noisy sound without it. Anyway, next we have the rhythm guitars, which are using, it's on my LTD M17 7-string guitar that I did to record this particular track. This is specifically what I'm using for the sound. I'm using the Rev Generator Purple Channel modeled amp with these settings. Pretty averagely high drive, like below middle bass, a lot of mid, less treble and less presence. Channel volume pretty high, master right in the middle, and then these settings that I don't know what to do with that just look like that. It is also using the 4x12 XXL Vintage 30 with a 409 dynamic microphone and these other settings. There's a Tube Screamer, the TS808 model,
with these settings. And finally, the noise gate. And the tone sounds like this. Took me a long time to find that tone. I like how it sounds now, it's just it took me a while to figure out. And finally, the leads. I'll get to other delays and reverbs in just a second. The lead tone looks like this. It is using the Cali 4 lead, which is based upon the Mesa Boogie Mark IV amplifier. This particular tone was supposed to be modeled after John Petrucci's lead tone. I did have another tone that I was using that was also based upon John Petrucci's lead tone, but I didn't like how it sounded, so I created another tone in it. Has these settings, cut out a little bit of mid, a lot of treble, presence, just like that. I didn't do anything with the additional EQ that you can have down here, and I didn't know what to do with these other settings in the middle. It's using the 4x12 XXL Vintage 30s again, with the SM57 dynamic microphone on the cab and these specific settings. Next, of course, the TS808 again, Tube Screamer. With these settings, it's definitely different from the rhythm tone, in that the tone setting is set a lot higher than on the rhythm tone. And of course, gain reduction through the powers of noise gate. And the tone sounds like this. And then the last thing that we have here is the dub leads. Often what I'll do is I'll dub, is what it's called, the solos or the lead guitars down an octave, or up an octave depending on where the lead is in relation to where it is on the fretboard. So for this song, I knew I could fit it down an octave, so I recorded the lead down an octave. And this is the tone that I set up for that. It's meant to be not intrusive, but audible. The tone that it's using the Rev Generator Red channel this time. These specific EQ settings, and then all the other settings pretty much remain unchanged-ish. This one I'm using the 4x12 Cali Vintage 30s with a 160 ribbon microphone and all these other settings. And then we have the Tube Screamer. This one, tone is set a lot higher. All there's to say about that. And then of course noise gate. Now the tone on its own, you're not going to hear it like this, but the tone on its own sounds like this. It's really low, but when you add in the other lead guitars, it complements it really well. And then when you put it all together, oh, okay, there's also the synth, which is just a custom-made 8-bit pluck kind of sound within Serum, which sounds like this. Not really a lot to say about that. And when you put it all together, it sounds like this. So with that, I'm actually going to let you listen to the full music video that I recorded for this, just to show off the tones and also the new camera stuff, because I'm obviously using a new camera, and I've been messing around with it. These camera angles that you're about to see are not going to be how the entirety of this next year is going to be. It's going to be essentially the same as normal, it's just that the camera will be able to be a lot tighter, and therefore a lot tighter, meaning a lot closer, and that means I can go for different kinds of camera angles that I couldn't get with my Canon Vixia camcorder. So, with that, enjoy the new tones and that particular music video. Thank you very much for watching, Dragonites. Stay classy and remember, a dragon is only as strong as you let it be. I'll see you in the skies.